Hello and welcome to another Stamp with Amy K Facebook Live video, and I am just out here double checking that I am live. Oop, of course I banged right into my my camera here for a second, of course, while I'm trying to make sure that I'm live out here where I would like to be on my Facebook page, which it looks like I am. I just got a little notification, so that's changed a little bit, so I'm glad that you're here. If you're joining, let me know that you're here and say hello. And and so the dog is barking and I can hear my daughter outside talking. So it's going to be an interesting video, I can tell already. So, all right. So, hey, Karen, hi, Susan. I appreciate you guys being here. I see Lori and Patricia are here as well. So thanks so much for hopping in and joining today. So I am going to show you a little card that I made with the Jar of Flowers stamp set bundle, which is this awesome stamp set from the upcoming Stampin' Up! 2020 to 2021 annual catalog. Hey, Anna, and I see Rosie is here and Marilyn as well. So glad that you guys are all joining today. So we have this awesome new stamp set, which is coming in the annual catalog. Demonstrators get to pre-order it. So I, of course, have it here because, you know, me and my pre-orders. Hey, Christy, thanks for joining today. I can't not order everything because it's really also awesome. So this is a really great stamp set. As you can see, the images on the cover are not actually true to size. So they are 75%, it says, of the size of the image. So they're actually quite a bit bigger than what they look like on the front of the stamp set. So just so you know, it is a photopolymer stamp set. So it's the clear, completely see-through stamps. And I've got a couple of them already stuck on blocks, so they're not all in here. But this is the stamp set. And then we have the jar punch, very creatively named. It's a little easier to see it on the back side. And so we have the punch that coordinates with it, and these are sold in a bundle, and actually it's in a whole product suite. Just see, hey, Barbara and Nancy, and I see Jeannie's here as well. So do the dies from the other jar set fit these? I do not have the other jar set anymore, but I do not believe they do, Susan. From what I recall, the jar was quite a bit bigger. Now, some of the coordinating images may still work with this this size of the jar punch, but the jar itself, I do not believe will work like interchangeably, if that makes sense. So, hey, Mary, I see, and Jerry's here as well, and Connie. So thanks so much for joining in, everybody. So again, since I don't have the dies here, I can't double check that, but from what I remember the jar die being a bit bigger than this one is. Maybe like, this one's maybe 2/3 of the size is what I'd guess, something like that. So anyhow, but it's a great bundle, and I love the images in it. The floral images are so pretty in this one. So all right, so that is the bundle that we're going to be playing with a little bit today. And when I had done my pre-order earlier, Stampin' Up! Did not have the flowers for every season designer series paper that is in this product suite. It wasn't available to order at the time, and of course I didn't get it until yesterday, and I'd already had my card all made for the video. So hey, Kayla, thanks for joining in today. So I wanted to, if it's all right with you guys, wanted to run through quickly the designer paper from that new pack, since I didn't get to show it to you when I did my little sneak peek with the other pre-order that I got. So this is the Flowers for Every Season 6x6 designer series paper pack, and it is in the whole suite of products. So hey, Colleen, thanks for joining today as well. So from Michigan, glad that you're here. So so this is actually it's the Flowers for Every Season 6x6 designer paper pack. I've probably said that 100 times already. But the colors in this one are Bumblebee, Cinnamon Cider, Just Jade, Magenta Madness, Misty Moonlight, Poppy Parade, and Whisper White. So it's got the new in colors plus a couple of additional ones. So these are the papers, and I kind of have gone through and flipped them so that we can hopefully go through fairly quickly. Hey, Mary, and did I get the domes for the jar? Yes, I did. But I'm not using them in the card today. So someday I'll make a shaker card with it. And Heather, thanks for joining in. So, all right. So this is one of the pieces of the designer paper in that pack. And then what Stampin' Up! Did is awesome. They actually have made this so that it kind of goes with every season. There are Christmas papers in this pack, which yay, because I know that many of you, like me, like to get started on Christmas a little early. And so we can get started on that. So this is the next sheet that is in that pack of paper. Then there is this sheet, which is the one side's got the kind of floral images and the other one's got just stems. And again, I think this one could easily be used for Christmas. So I love all of the new in colors. They're all good. I mean, I haven't found one that I'm like, that one's okay. I really like them all, actually. So this one we've got some nice spring and summer images on, so pretty floral images. And the back side's got the little polka dots on it. The next piece of paper is more florals. Again, oops, I got this one upside down here. Yep, I'm on the, making sure that I'm keeping them in the right order and showing you front and back of each one. So we've got the pretty bumblebee flowers, as well as some other pretty florals on the back side of that one. All right, and then we've got a striped piece of paper. And obviously some more florals, so definitely some pretty ones, and a little more neutral in the backgrounds and a little bit brighter in the backgrounds. So here we've got some roses, and then again just some greenery in this one. This designer paper is called the Flowers for Every Season 6x6 designer paper pack, and this is the one that we weren't able to pre-order immediately. It came out a couple days later, so I got my pack, so I figured I'd run through these and show you this since it coordinates with this suite of products as well. So the other next paper in here has got, again, some beautiful roses on it. Hey Pam, thanks for joining. And then we've got some more floral, some more roses, just kind of a more neutral bumblebee colored background. And I love this one. Oh, the daisies. So they got daisies on this one and more daisies on the other side of it. And then here are some more beautiful daisies. And this is the cinnamon cider, kind of a more neutral background on that one. Yellow roses are definitely beautiful. So, and then the final piece of paper in this one is got the daisy images on one side and some flowers, and a little bit of polka dots on the back of that one. So that is that designer paper pack. So again, that was something that I wasn't able to pre-order, so I just wanted to run through that. And like I said, of course, I didn't use it on my card today because I didn't get it until yesterday, and wanted to have my card done a little bit ahead of time and not be scrambling to get it done for you. So, so the stamp set that I used for the background pieces here is the Jar of Flowers stamp set bundle. And then the sentiment actually came from a new stamp set that is also in the upcoming catalog called Lovely You. And it's got all sorts of fantastic sentiments in it and some pretty floral images. So lots of good ones in this one as well. So that is where the sentiment came from. And then I used the Stitch So Sweetly dies for the sentiment. Cut that one out here. So I'm going to be using that one in just a second. And then the other one that I used, which of course, is my kind of go-to that I use for everything. I used the stitched rectangle dies, and it was the third largest one here that I used to cut out around the little jar image. So we've got that all done, and I'm going to set this aside, and we will get busy on the stamping. Okay, so to start with, we have a bumblebee card base. So this is one of the new in colors. And then this is from the new in color designer series paper pack, the 2020 to 2022. That's a lot of 20s in a 2 designer paper pack. So this is part of it. The back side of it's kind of looks almost like denim, only in different colors or fabric or something. Denim is what it reminds me of. I don't know why. So I used a little different piece on this card. I used one that's got some kind of little scripty font on it, and then decided I'd use polka dots today. So my card base for this card is cut to 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. My sample card is actually cut to 4 1/4 by 11 and scored at 5.5. But it creates the exact same card, same size of the card base and everything. It just opens a little different way. So we're using a little multi-purpose liquid glue to adhere the designer paper to the card front, and it is cut to 4 1/4 by 5.5, and I'll have all the details out on my blog tomorrow. So no worries about writing everything down and making sure that you get sizes and things. So all the details will be out on my blog tomorrow. And of course, I should have written this one down. I've got Flirty Flamingo, and it's cut to 3 1/8 by 4 for the background. And then I'm going to layer on the top of that with the piece that I had cut with the Whisper White cardstock that I'd cut with the stitched rectangles die. And again, this is the third largest one. We're going to do a little bit of coloring on this one. I went ahead and pre-stamped this so that it'd be ready to go in color when we got here. But we're going to be using Flirty Flamingo, light and dark Flirty Flamingo, Highland Heather, Granny Apple Green. What else have we got in there? Crumb Cake, some Mango Melody, and Pool Party is the other color. So we're going to start with the Flirty Flamingo, and I personally like to start with the lighter color first and just sort of get the color on the paper here. So that's what I usually do first, is just get the color laid out on it in the light. light color first. Apparently coloring and talking is challenging for me today. So do a little bit of, get the color on it basically, and then come back in, and I've got my dark Flirty Flamingo, and I'm just going to come back in where I feel like there would be shadows on this and add in a little bit of the dark. And I do this fairly quickly. I don't, particularly on flowers, I don't spend a lot of time kind of messing around and coloring. I just kind of try to get some low lights in, some highlights in. Where I think it should be dark, I put a little bit of dark, and where I think it should be lighter, I just leave it a little bit lighter. So I don't have any fantastic coloring tips other than to play with it, play with your blends. And the only other tip that I have is start with florals, because they're sort of easy and they're harder to mess up. When you start with doing something a little more challenging, you know, animals and people and that sort of thing, they're a little bit more difficult to color and make them look right. Florals, you can kind of do almost anything, and you know, we just call it artistic if it doesn't turn out perfectly, because mine don't always turn out perfectly. So let's see, suggest to stamp the flowers before you add to the jar. This one, yes, because the flowers are stamped on the background. So if you were going to fussy cut these, it wouldn't necessarily matter, but because I am using this as the background and then putting the jar over the top of it, I need to stamp my flowers first so I know where to put my jar once it comes time to glue things together. So, all right, next up we've got some Highland Heather, and again we're going to start with the light Highland Heather. Highland Heather, did I say it right? I think I did. All of a sudden I'm like, ooh, that that sounded a little weird coming out of my mouth, but I think I got the color right. So, all right, hard to mess up but not impossible. Well, and fussy cutting never is exactly right, Mary. So yes. So you are right. You can mess them up. But flowers are, you know, you can make them look pretty no matter what, even if they're not nicely colored, because I've had some not nicely colored ones that I have done before, and they still look pretty because they're still flowers. So, but you are right. It's not impossible to mess them up, but it's almost impossible because you can make it look however you want. You can have bright blue flowers if you want to have bright blue flowers, because they're yours. At least that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. So, all right. Doing a little bit of, coming back in, I put in a little bit of the dark Highland Heather, and I'm just coming back in with the light and trying to blend together so I don't have quite as harsh lines on here. So everybody knows, I'm assuming that the retiring sale is going on from Stampin' Up. They have a whole huge list of products that are retiring right now. Won't be in the new catalog, so they are on. We've got some things on sale, so make sure that you're finishing up your wish list from the current catalog, because the new catalogs are coming very soon. You like blue flowers? Karen says, well, good, I'm glad. So, Texas blue bonnets, that's true. So, should be a die to cut out the flowers? Well, that's the only way that I will cut them out, because I'm surely not fussy cutting them. So, I just stamped them on the background and called it good. But I'm sure that you will see tons of samples made with this where they will be fussy cut and it will look amazing, but not if I fussy cut them, because I hack things up like a 3-year-old. So, fussy cutting is not something I do well. So, I just don't do it. Because it's just not my thing. So, all right. So everybody knows that the retiring list is out. So make sure you're getting your last minute orders put in. Stamp sets that are on the retiring list are guaranteed available until the 15th of May, which really is not so far away. It's only a couple days. After that, they're while supplies last. So make sure that you're getting your orders put in soon for those. And anything else on the list, need a weak pinky emoji. Yes, and I would use it a lot. So there. So any of the items from Celebration carrying forward. Yes, there is an item from Celebration that is carrying forward. It is the, was it Small Flower Punch? I'm trying to remember the exact name, but it was the little flower punch that was in there. And I probably have the wrong name for it, but that one is carrying forward. Otherwise, nothing else is. So I think next up we will do some pool party. So send it to Mary and she'll cut it. Yes, I'm sure that she would. But anyway, would never have thought to use Flirty Flamingo with blue bumblebee. Actually, I didn't think of it either, to tell you the truth. Small bloom punch. Okay, I knew it was small something punch, and flower I knew was not right. But thank you, Karen, for adding that. Yep, the small bloom punch is the one thing that is carrying over. Actually, Stampin' Up! Has come out with a new color coach with the new in colors in it, and one of the suggestions that they put together was Bumblebee and Flirty Flamingo, which I would never in a million years have put them together. But then, of course, I did, and I'm like, I actually kind of like it. I think it looks good. So that's why I went with it with this card. So there are new in color Stampin' Blends markers coming out, but of course we don't have those yet. So otherwise I would have colored this all up with the in color markers and all that sort of thing, but I didn't have them. So I just went with colors that I liked and that I thought went well with it. Anyway, so yes, the color coach is out there, and if you go out onto my blog, I've got a copy of it sitting out there. It's on a kind of a back page. It's called Color Coach, I believe. It's what I very creatively named the page that's got the Color Coach on it on my blog. So yep, it's out there, and it's got the details listed on it already with the new in colors. Using a little bit of Mango Melody out here. So add in that. All right. Next up, we're going to do a little coloring with some Granny Apple Green, and I've got the light and dark that I'll be using. You don't mind fussy cutting? Ugh, I do not. Do not like it at all. So new blends. Yes, Nancy, the new in colors they will have in blends. And there is one other color as well, and somebody will probably pop on and tell me what it is because I can't remember. But I know that there are the in colors definitely are coming in the blends. And I feel like there's one other color. And I feel like it's one of the pinks, but again, I can't remember for sure. So hopefully somebody who's got a catalog in front of them can let you know for sure what the other color is. So, and I may be wrong. Maybe it is only the new in colors, but I feel like there's one more. So Melon Mambo, is that it? You could be right, Mary. I can't remember. Like I said, I feel like there's one color that's not an in color, and then we've got the in colors that are coming. So, all right. And speaking of catalogs, if you're a customer of mine, my customer catalogs are supposed to be here tomorrow. Oh, so Melon Mambo it is? Okay. All right. I was thinking it was one of the pinks. So this is Crumb Cake that I'm using, Stampin' Blends marker. My customer catalogs are supposed to be here tomorrow, so UPS is supposed to be dropping them off before 9 o'clock tomorrow night. We shall see if that, in fact, is true. I am sure hoping that it is. And if the catalogs get here tomorrow, I will definitely be frantically sticking labels on them and sending them back out to my customers. So if you have ordered from me within the last year, you will be getting your free copy of the catalog very soon. As soon as I get them, I will pack them up and send them right back out. So yay for that. If you're not a customer of mine and don't have a demonstrator but want a catalog, drop me an email, amy@stampwithamyk.com, and I will be happy to send you out a catalog. Just give me your address. If you're in the U.S., I'm happy to send one out. So, no, I have not received my personal catalog yet, but my boxes of catalogs will be here tomorrow, so I'm calling that good because I will have a copy of it then at that point. So anyhow, yep, that's a little catalog update I've got going on. So again, if you are a customer of mine, your catalog should be in the mail shortly. Hopefully Thursday or Friday, they'll go to the post office. Again, if UPS shows up on time, which they've sort of been a little hit or miss on that, but hoping that they'll be here and we'll have a catalog without any issues. So, all right, next up, we are going to do a little bit of stamping, finally, after all of my talking. So I'm using the jar image in Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and we're going to ink up the jar image from the Jar of Flowers stamp set. Hopefully I'm getting good coverage here on it. All right. And I think I'm going to put that over here. Just do a quick stamp on Whisper White. Set that aside. And then next up, I've got some Pool Party ink. And this is one of those stamp sets, which I probably forgot to say early on. It's a reversible stamp set. So the images, the jar image, you can stamp it as the lined jar, which I just did, or flip it over and stamp the solid jar. The smaller one that I'm using here actually has a lined side and then a solid side, and I'm using the solid side to make it appear as though it's filled with water. And I realized I forgot to put the stems on a block, so I'm going to have to do that really quick here. So then I'm just going to go over my image here that I've got and try to line it up, hold my breath a little bit, and yep, stamped it pretty well. So look at that. Then, like I said, I realized that I forgot to put the stems on a block. So let me grab the stems out of the stamp case. Try to be all prepared and then still end up forgetting stuff. So, all right, so I've got a little tuxedo black memento ink, and I'm going to stamp up or ink up the stems and stamp those here inside the jar. And I basically lined it up so that hopefully they go kind of down close to the bottom and then line up with the lines on the top of the jar. So pre-order hasn't shipped yet. Yeah, well, I mean, it's the whole Corona thing, unfortunately. Stamp It Up is they're doing the best they can to keep up with it, but they've had to change how they ship their orders. So it's kind of affecting all sorts of strange things just because they're trying to minimize their warehouse staff, time that they're spending together, and they can't really bring in any new warehouse staff at this point. It's a little challenging to do that as well. So there's been some delays in the shipping of the orders. So unfortunately, I wish there was a way around it, but it kind of does seem to be affecting everything. So, all right. So got my, I colored the stems with light granny apple green. Going to use the jar punch here and just going to slide it into the punch and do a quick punch, hopefully, if I can get it lined up here. And set that punch aside. And then I took some of the new Bumblebee ribbon, showed picking for 4 days. Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, I wish there was a better answer, but unfortunately, they're trying to keep their staff safe and not get the warehouse shut down because everybody's sick. So that's, I understand their rationale in doing it, but I know it's frustrating for sure. So we've got a little bit of Bumblebee ribbon. This is new in the catalog, and it is 1/4 inch wide gingham ribbon. So hopefully you have a second to take a peek at that. So it coordinates. It's not officially part of the product suite, but I feel like it coordinates really nicely with it. So, all right. And we got, going to add a couple little glue dots here on the back. And what I've done to sort of hide the rim around the jar is I actually just took the ribbon and I'm going to wrap it right around. Yep, unfortunately, like I said, it's either, I'm just thankful they're still open and still shipping out orders because a lot of places are not. So I feel like I'm just happy and glad that they're still allowing us to place orders and are still working and trying to get the orders out as quickly as they can. So, and they are busy, definitely busy, trying to get all the pre-orders done and trying to get all the retiring items that everybody's ordering and all that sort of thing. So it's a busy time in the warehouse. And like I said, unfortunately, they normally bring in extra staff and they just can't do it right now with the whole virus thing. So it's a pain, but hopefully sometime soon we'll kind of be through the worst of this and things will return to somewhat normal, hopefully. So. All right, so took another little piece of the Bumblebee ribbon, and hopefully you saw what I did is I had adhered the piece to the jar and then just took another piece, slid it right around the piece that was on the jar, and tied a little knot. So now I'm just going to trim things up here a little bit. So it's not quite as long, although I probably should even trim it down a little more. That's looking a little like my hair does right now since I haven't had a haircut in weeks either. So... Yep, we do, yeah, and Trish is definitely right. It's been challenging, and the warehouse staff is working as hard as they can. So, yep. Hey, Sheila, I didn't even see that you were on here, so I'm so glad that you are. And yep, I'm glad that everybody's staying safe, and that, like I said, I have not heard anybody at Stamp It Up that's been sick. So I'm really happy to hear that they're all doing well there, even though they're still working and shipping out orders as fast as they can for us. So. All right, just adding on some glue dots here on the back of my little jar. And then I'm going to stick that right here onto the card front. Flip it over here and I'm going to try to get it fairly centered. So I think I got it. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to take a little bit of liquid glue and adhere that all together on the card front. So... Hey, Sherry, no problem. Glad that you were able to join. So, but anyhow, so yeah, if you're interested in joining as a demonstrator, if you're not one already and interested in joining to be able to get some of these products extra early, drop me a note, let me know. We'd love to have you come join us and be part of our little team. We've got a fun little group of stampers that likes to hang out and have a good time and stamp. Little low pressure, so that's definitely a good thing. So it is a cute little jar. I like it. So, but yeah, if you're interested in joining and like I said, don't already have a team, we'd love to have you come join with us and be able to get some of this awesome new stuff as well. So let me know if you have questions about that. Just drop me a note. So, okay, next up we're going to stamp the sentiment, and I just used a simple little one in Flirty Flamingo ink. It's one that says smile, and again, it's going to take me a minute, from the Lovely You stamp set. So you are very welcome. I'm glad that you're here, Anna. Like I said, I appreciate it. It's fun playing with all this stuff. There are so many awesome new things in the catalog. It's been a lot of fun to order from it, and I don't know. I mean, this catalog is totally my style. When I look at everything, I'm like, I just love it. Definitely love it. So. Yeah, and the gingham ribbon is really pretty, and there's, anything gingham I'm kind of a sucker for, but I do love the gingham ribbon. So, all right, doing a little bit of die cutting over here off to the side. And I'm using one of the Stitched So Sweetly dies, which is they are in the current catalog, and they are going to be in the next catalog as well. So yay, I'm happy about that, because this is one of my favorite die sets. Wasn't on your you're going to have to order next time. Yes. See, if you're like me, Mary, I'm already on my third pre-order. So, because I keep I'm like, yeah, well, I'll order that later. And then all of a sudden later is like, it has to be right now because I saw something awesome with it. So I need some help. So it's pretty sad. But yeah, I thought I'd ordered everything, and then there were things I didn't order, and then, more stuff, and then more things, but it's still awesome. So one of the benefits of being a demonstrator, we can put in orders as many times as we want and not feel too badly about it. All right, so that is the sentiment on the card front, and I've got a mess on my desk. So here we are, just adding a little rhinestone in next to the sentiment. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and fold this one up, and I forgot to do the inside here. Kept the inside pretty basic, just added a little piece of the leftover that I trimmed from the card front. And we're just going to add that here on the bottom of the Whisper White panel. So, yes, don't feel badly at all about doing a second pre-order, because I'm already on my third one. Eek. There's a little brochure that I was going to order on my second pre-order that I forgot, and then of course that just gave me an excuse to have to do a third pre-order, and then, well, since I had the option to do the third pre-order, then I might as well order all these extra things, and so you're beyond help and need an intervention. Deborah, you and I probably should be, we should get together sometime and talk about it, because I don't even know that an intervention would help me at this point. So I don't know. I don't want to say it's a sickness, because it's not really, but it kind of is. But it's all right. Like I said, it's fun. Of the things that we can have and be addicted to, I think stamping is one of the best ones. So, all right. So let's go ahead and put the inside in the card. And again, just used a little trimmed piece of the designer paper left over from the card front in Whisper White cardstock. And there we go. So that is it for my card share today. Hopefully you liked it. Like I said, a little different designer paper on the background. Karen's getting ready to place her third order. Yeah, see, I'm glad. And Stampin' Up! Does provide job security for UPS drivers. You are exactly right, Rosie. And we're just helping. That's my theory on it. We're helping. So, all right. So those are my cards. Like I said, I've got a little different designer paper on each one, but hopefully they look all right and you like them both. Like I said, originally I liked this paper a lot, but now that I have this one put together, I actually like the little polka dots an awful lot too. So, all right. So that is all that I have got for you today. And hey, Sue, thanks for hopping in. I appreciate y'all being here. And I we'll definitely be back on Facebook Live next week, Tuesday, and I'll be back out on YouTube Live next week, Friday, or this week, Friday, I'm sorry, and next Friday too. Plan to be out about 2 o'clock Eastern time as well. So I appreciate y'all being here. Thanks so much for joining today. Let me know if you have questions. I'll be posting all the details on my blog tomorrow, which is stampwithamyk.com. So if you're not subscribed, be sure to get out there and subscribe so that you'll get all my blog posts and get all the latest information from Stampin' Up! Too. So again, thanks for joining. Have a great rest of your day, and we will talk again soon.